Hello, welcome to yet another episode of RamCenter. As always, I'm your co-host, Spencer McKercher.
And I'm Connor Sodak.
Yeah, no James, not an April Fool's joke. My man Connor filling in for Jay. Connor, how you doing, man?
It's good. It's good to be here once again. I filled in for you not too long ago in the fall semester. I had a great time. Looking to have another good time.
It's going to be another great time, man.
Definitely.
Big game, Monday night, national championship. I know who you got.
Oh, I got my Cats.
Got
Nova Nation. All day, every day, man.
If they can stay hot from three, they can't be stopped.
Oof. I mean, and they were raining them against Kansas the other night.
Unbelievable. I haven't seen anything like it.
Unbelievable. But, you know, Michigan has their big guy, Mo Wagner, so he's a force to be reckoned with.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But, hey, we have a great show on tap here. We're going to be talking a lot about our women's teams and our men's teams as they've been successful so far.
So let's get this show on the road. This is RamCenter.
And it starts right now.
Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got a real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Get your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam. Alright.
Welcome back. This is RamCenter. As always, Spencer McKercher, Connor Sodak filling in for James to my left. With the Masters coming up this weekend, we'll start the show off with our men's golf team. After a strong finish to the fall season, finishing 6th in the PSAC Championships, our men's team's off to a pretty good start to start the spring campaign. The squad traveled to Wheeling, West Virginia this past weekend to partake in the West Liberty Invitational. They turned in a sub-300 round for the first time in 2017-2018 and sat 4th at the end of the day on Sunday. They posted a total score of 299, just eclipsing that sub-300 mark, and all 5 of our golfers shot under an 80 and sat just 6 strokes back of Charleston. Unfortunately, the second and final round was postponed on Monday due to snow. Welcome to the golf season, huh? The scores from the first round will stand as the official results. Connor Sharp shot the lowest round for the Rams, coming in at an even 71. He finished 3rd in the individual leaderboard. Chad Stein finished tied for 16th after shooting a 74 in his only round. Westchester will be back home on Monday and Tuesday hosting the Dr. Edwin B. Cottrell Invitational at Penn Oaks Golf Course. Connor, you know, it was kind of an okay fall season this past season for our men's golf team. Had up and down tournament, didn't finish inside the top 2 of anything, but a good start to the spring season.
Great start, and you want to start it off with a tournament like this, come out into the spring strong, and I think our boys did that.
Absolutely. You know, going down to West Virginia, we're not just facing these PSAC teams, we're facing national teams. In fact, there was a team from Canada, the University of Malone, that was partaking in the Invitational. So it's good to get these guys back in the season. Hopefully the snow doesn't slow them down too much.
No, not at all. And you want to get your guys against these obscure teams that's not in the PSAC, where they're not familiar with.
Right.
That really gives them experience and knowledge going into the season.
And I think so. And, you know, just with Stein and the other guy, you know, having great rounds, I think that's a good thing for individually as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, awesome.
Awesome. Westchester baseball returned to the Diamond on Saturday as they hosted PSAC rival East Stroudsburg in a crucial doubleheader. In the first matchup, the Rams were able to strike first, racing out to a 3-0 lead through 1 inning of action. The Warriors would soon answer 2 innings later with 2 RBIs and a home run to tie the game at 3. The game would go to extra innings when the Rams left a runner stranded in scoring position in the 7th. Dramatics then ensued as the Rams found themselves with 2 runners on base with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. Junior Joey Coyle became the hero as he sent a long drive out to left field that drove in John Hansen for the 4-3 victory in walk-off fashion. Starting pitcher Mike Cipolla tossed the first complete game of his season and improved his record to 3-1 on the year with allowing 3 runs along with 7 strikes in 8 innings. The second matchup of the day would not be as much of a contest. Westchester's bats came alive in the nightcap as they jumped out to a 5-0 lead in the first inning. After East Stroudsburg answered with 3 runs of their own, the Rams would pour it on later in the top of the 6th with yet another 5-run outburst. The final score would be 14-6 as Westchester was able to complete the sweep. John Hansen led the team in hits in the second matchup with 3 and also tallied 4 RBIs as well. The 2 victories improves Westchester's record to 14-6 overall and 3-3 in PSAC play. The Golden Rams will continue interconference play as they face off against Shippensburg on Friday. And Spence, you like to see a team like this get 2 good wins against a PSAC rival back-to-back.
Back-to-back, and especially coming off in last weekend, 2 or 3 or 4 tough losses, against the Lock Haven team that is pretty good. Lock Haven's notoriously well for their baseball. But to go against, we're back home for the first time in PSAC play against a great East Stroudsburg team, to pull off 2 victories, especially with Sia Paolo going the distance. His last game wasn't his best outing. It was his only loss. He only went 3 1/3. Ended up allowing 8 earned runs on 10 hits against the team in Florida. It's tough. It's very tough. But, the bats are heating up, and as hopefully we continue to heat up our pitching.
Right, and when you see these bats keep going and these hits piling up and these runs piling up, the confidence grows as well with a squad like this.
Confidence definitely grows. I mean, a 14-6 victory, that's not your average victory. That's a huge victory, and that's the thing. We've been scoring lots of runs, and we just need our pitching. We need our pitching to jump on board, and they did this past weekend. In great form. Great form. Hopefully keep going forward. But hey, now we're going to throw it over to Ty with an interview with a veteran member of our men's tennis team. Ty, take it away.
What's up, Rams? Tyler Jefferson here, back in the studio. Today I got my guy with me, Norman. How you feeling today, bro?
What's up, bro? I'm feeling good. Feeling good.
Definitely. I ain't see you all semester. It finally feels good to finally get you in.
No, you blew that intramural game for us, bro. I've been staying away from you.
No. We're gonna talk about that off camera, but just I know some information about you, but tell those watching some basic information. Where you come from, what you're studying in school, and why you chose to come to Westchester.
I'm from Bucks County, Pennsylvania originally. I actually transferred here from Penn State.
From Penn State.
So I did that a couple years ago, and I'm studying management, and I got an international business minor, so I'm actually finishing that up this semester. So a couple more weeks, and
you out of here.
I'm out of here.
Man, I got a long way to go. I know you happy.
I know.
How many years were you at Penn State?
Just a semester.
Just a semester.
I transferred here the semester after that.
What made you want to transfer?
Well, I don't know. It was kind of closer to home. Some personal stuff was going on, and then this was like the closest thing I could go to.
I got you. What do you feel is the major differences from here in Penn State?
Conference-wise, it's just it's a different league a little bit. You got kids that have been playing their whole life, and have been dedicated from, they're like 5 or 6 years old, and like a couple of kids in this conference that are really good. You got a lot of really good foreigners. But the major difference between playing-wise between a school like that is just how good the kids are really, and how long they've been playing. And stuff like that.
You just gotta be ready. You gotta be prepared.
Yeah.
I know this about you. I don't know if they know, but you were in the military, correct?
I was.
Do you mind sharing some information about that? How did your experience go with that?
It was a very interesting experience. It's a lot of work. It's a different mindset, different playing field. Definitely helps when you're playing sports, and it's a different mindset. It kind of keeps you more calm and collected. You kind of come back a different person almost. Just more mature in a way. Teaches you a lot, and you get to learn a lot too, which is awesome. You apply it to stuff every day for the rest of your life. So that's probably one of the biggest things I'll take away from it.
Yeah, I know that experience really helped you, not only inside the lines, but also in life, just as a man.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that prepared you for life. So how old were you when you got into playing tennis?
I was like 12 years old, and my mom dropped me off at a camp one day and played tennis. I hated it. I was like, this is gonna be so dumb, this it's a girl sport and everything. And I came back that same day, and I was like, I love it. And a couple 2 years later, my family sent me off to Florida, and I was playing every day. And just my entire high school career was kind of just dedicated to playing tennis, traveling for tournaments and stuff. And my family didn't have a lot of money, so I would be traveling a lot of places by myself.
Definitely.
But it was a nice experience, kind of being 14, 15 years old, and just being in a different state by yourself. You got the hotel room to yourself, all that stuff.
Yeah, around that age, everybody playing baseball, football, basketball, soccer. We got Norm here playing tennis. There's nothing wrong with that. That's pretty good. That's pretty unique.
A little different.
Yeah, definitely different. Do you feel that was there a certain point in your life where you sat back and reflect all right, maybe I can really do this tennis thing for real. Maybe I can go on and play after high school.
Yeah, I was probably 15 to 16 years old when I started talking to a couple colleges and, you know, kind of realized like, all right, maybe like, you know, because I was playing like different sports at the time, and I basically thought that, you know, no other, you know, I'm not going to get a D1 offer for like volleyball or like football or something like that, you know.
Right.
And even if I did get hurt, you know, I'd be done, can do this stuff and, you know, lose the risk of injury really, besides like, you know, wear and tear. But I probably like my early teenage years when I was like, I could probably, you know, go to college, do some stuff after too, you know.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, you know.
Definitely, we'll see.
So,
Just keep working.
yeah.
So you're a senior here, like you said, about to graduate soon. How does this how does this year differ from, you know, previous years? Not just, you know, tennis wise, but academically also.
To be honest, you know, when I transferred back after being away, after you know, going away to the military and all, you know, I'm almost 24 now.
Right.
So, you know, I'm 24 playing on a team of, you know, guys that are having their 21st birthdays, you know. So, it's definitely a little different. Physically, you know, you can definitely tell you're a little older, you know, things don't move and work the same way, you know. I'm still only, you know, 23, but
still young,
you still
older at the
notice
same
it, you
time.
know. But yeah, academically, my hardest years were probably my sophomore and junior year, just catching back up with all the classes that I missed. You know, now I'm taking 3 high-level business courses and 1 Geo 101 class, and this is the easiest semester I think I've had so far. So it's not too bad. But one thing that does kind of, when you hit your senior year, you know, you start working a lot, you start applying to jobs and everything, and it's like, you know, you got 30 other things on your plate you got to deal with. So sports kind of does fall back a little bit for some people, but it's academically, I'm going to say this is probably one of the easier ones, just more projects and stuff.
So, you know, in terms of the team collectively, I know it hasn't been a good enough year that you guys planned on, but how important is it to stay motivated, you know, each match? How important is it to you know, just be dedicated, be motivated, just go out there, have fun, and give it your all?
You know, Matt, I know every person on the team, like, they live and die for it, you know, and they're like a young team too. Our top 3 guys, we're all seniors, so they really got to develop. They got some good talent coming up too. It's so important to keep them motivated and to give them a different look, because they're for any sports team, the younger guys are always looking up to the older guys, usually. But it's in the end, tennis is an individual sport, and playing on a college team, the matches are just like a different atmosphere. You know, you got your whole 10 guys backing you up, you know, cheering you on. So it kind of changes it, because you grow up playing like an individual sport, and then you kind of get on a team that's an individual sport. It's kind of different, you know. You're by yourself, but you're not by yourself. You got all your guys backing you. So it's a different kind of feel a little bit.
So as Spencer said earlier in the show, you're a veteran on this team. What are some things you try to show? Like you said, the team is a lot of young guys. I know they look up to you. What are some things you try to show them to just be successful as a player, and also just how to teach them as a grow as a man? To
be honest, going to practice and stuff is crucial, and I am not the best person with my time management and with work. But there are some, you know, big role models on the team. We got Lucas at 2 and Charlie at 3, and they're 2 of the best role models for those guys that I think, if I had to pick, those 2, really, all the younger guys really look up to them in the matches. You know, just playing your hardest and giving it 100% is really like what these guys are looking for, I think. And if they see you do it, hopefully they'll mimic it and, you know, work their hardest too.
Yeah, you had a lot of success here. I'm quite sure they look up to you, try to follow your footsteps.
Yeah, I'm trying, man. You know, it's not easy.
I definitely feel that. So, enough for tennis. I know you personally. I know you're a huge basketball fan. Play all the time in the rec. So I gotta ask you, who you got winning tonight?
Honestly, man, this has been a question for a couple of days. You know, I had UNC winning, and now that they blew this for me in my entire bracket, I lost $20 in a bracket, so I'm already mad about that. But I got half a stack on Michigan, man. I had to. You know, Nova's playing great. I love Jay Wright. I love them all. But like, and my theory is that you're not gonna play this way through an entire tournament if everybody's getting beat like this. Like, there's no way one team's gonna have a perfect ride through and everybody else just get, you know, it's garbage almost. So I'm gonna have to put it against. I'm gonna have to go with Michigan tonight. Even though I love Nova, but I gotta go with Michigan tonight, man.
Y'all heard it here first. This guy Norman just put $500 on Michigan to beat Villanova. We'll see how that go. That's all the time we have here today, folks. I just want to thank you again for coming out, bro. Appreciate it.
Good stuff, man.
We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, Ty. Yet another amazing interview, and I've been friends with Norm, since my freshman year, so it's good to bring him to the studio. Awesome. Good luck for him for the rest of his senior year.
Westchester women's rugby team traveled to Princeton this past weekend to participate in the Princeton Sevens tournament. Westchester ran through the competition early and fought their way to the title game, where they unfortunately fell to the host of the tournament, Princeton. The Rams went 4-1 on the day and dominated pool play to advance to the championship bracket. After defeating Salisbury, Northeastern, and Columbia in their pool, they faced off against Northeastern once again in the semifinals. They were able to topple Northeastern for the second time of the day to reach the championship. The Rams' hot streak would come to a halt against Princeton as the host took the lead in the second half of the match and never looked back. Despite a tied score at halftime, Westchester just couldn't penetrate the defense of Princeton and ran out of time. Despite falling in the championship, Westchester had an impressive tournament. Two of Westchester's standouts were seniors Lily Riley and Aaliyah Ray. Riley finished with 70 points on the day off of 8 tries and 15 conversions. Ray also contributed with 5 tries and 4 conversions, finishing with 33 points in the tournament. They finished the tournament 4-1. The team finished with a total of 148 points and sported an impressive 109-point differential in scoring. The Rams will now set their sights on the Brown Sevens tournament in Providence, Rhode Island next weekend. And Spence, you see a girls rugby team really get their confidence going in a tournament like this, rattling off 4 straight.
Right, and looking back in the fall season, it wasn't the best fall season, but they finished so strong, and it's awesome to see. I mean, they started 0-6 in the fall. Then ended the season 8-6 on 8 straight wins, and now to start the spring season, with these sevens tournaments, a great start. And with our rugby team, as most of us know, they're playing these Division I schools. You're playing Princeton and Northeastern and all these other great schools, and I'm sure whoever's playing in the Brown Sevens tournament is going to be a great teams.
Definitely.
So going forward, I think the confidence is there. We're clicking perfectly at the right time, and it's a great spring season for
and
women's
rugby.
rugby.
You see some seniors finally taking over. Lily Riley has definitely taken a hold of this team, and she's led them to these consecutive W's.
Her and Aaliyah Ray, we heard a lot of their names in the fall. Hopefully we'll continue to hear their names in the spring.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
I feel like it's the same every week for our women's lacrosse team, and I'm not sure it will ever get old. Our Lady Rams are 9-0 for the first time since 2013. And we'll start with the much anticipated matchup last weekend with defending PSAC champ East Stroudsburg. It was an historic finish to the Lady Rams' 14-7 victory over the Warriors, as Coach Ginny Martino picked up her 300th career victory on the heels of Maggie Stella's hat trick. Martino became the first Division II women's lacrosse coach to reach the legendary 300 wins and became only the 10th coach at any collegiate level to join history. The win ended East Stroudsburg's 15-game conference win streak. The Warriors focused all of their attention to Sammy Barnett, who still registered her 28th goal of the year, but it opened up for Stella and Alex Wendig, who added 2 goals off the bench. Drew McKinney and Tatum Alden also tallied goals. Julianne Clemens knotted the win after making 8 saves and improving to 4-0 on the year. Our defense absolutely did their job as well, only allowing East Stroudsburg, who averages 43 shots per contest, to only 16 shots on target on the day. The Lady Rams then traveled to the opposite corner of the Keystone State to battle number 20 Mercyhurst this past Saturday. And once again, the Rams came out victorious, beating Mercyhurst for the first time since 2012 off a huge goal by freshman Drew McKinney with 45 seconds left to give the Lady Rams an 11-10 victory. With the victory, again, we move to 9-0 and take sole possession of first place in the PSAC. Sammy Barnett regained her red-hot start, tallying 4 goals in the first half. The Lady Rams seemed to have control until a fantastic comeback by Mercyhurst to tie the game with 4 minutes to go. McKinney then took full control over a free position opportunity and scored the game winner. She then won the opposing draw to secure the win. Clemens again got credit with the win after a 7-save performance, and the Lady Rams look to continue their outstanding start to this season when they travel to Kutztown this Thursday. So, dude, it is not getting old. We keep talking about our women's lacrosse team.
Unreal.
And they are unreal. I actually just caught up with Sammy. As we were walking here, I caught up with Sammy, and she's just like, man, I'm tired. And I was like, I can imagine. It's been a crazy season so far. They were off practice today, so a big relief for them.
Kudos to them.
But going forward, man, you know, we got Kutztown, and then we're back home against Gannon next week. What's got to be the mindset going forward?
You just got to keep it rolling. Keep these wins rolling in a row. You know they're on a streak, and
right.
You know they're on fire right now. So the confidence is at an all-time high.
Absolutely.
So you go into these games thinking that you're the best, and really they are the best going into these games.
Right now, they are the best, and confidence is absolutely sky high. And I think completely going forward, I don't see this team losing the game for a while. I mean, we're clicking. We have freshmen coming off the bench that are scoring goals. Sure, if you want to focus all your energy to Tatum Allman or Sammy Barnett, we have Drew McKinney. We have Alex Wendick, both coming off the bench and scored big goals.
So many options.
And you know what? An 11-10 victory, especially with a goal in the last minutes, that's huge for the team's composure. I mean, again, I was talking to Sammy. She was like, dude, it brought us together as a team. We really are realizing how special this team could be.
Yep. And when you're a coach coaching these players, it's nice to say that you have these talented young kids that you can just let take over a game.
Exactly.
You don't have to micromanage or overcoach the game. You can just go and let them do that.
Exactly. And not to mention, Nicole Bartons came in for net, had a great 2 games as well. So not a discredit to her, and Clemens as well in net. It's been a fantastic season so far.
Yep.
We're now going to send it over to Reggie for This Day in Sports.
Hello, RamCenter fans, and welcome to another This Day in Sports segment. Let's reminisce back to the year 1985 in the NCAA. John Thompson became the first black head coach in NCAA history to lead his team to a national championship, with just a little help by All-American Patrick Ewing. Also on this day 2 years later in 1986, the NCAA Rules Committee adopted the 45-second shot clock for men's basketball. This rule would later change in the 1993-1994 season to 35 seconds. Don't expect an upset tonight. Tune in at 9:20 p.m. to watch Villanova take on Michigan for the 2018 National Championship game. I'm Reggie Dudley with this segment in This Day in Sports. Now over to Taylor Christensen for Pro Sports.
What's going on, Rams? Taylor Christensen here, back with another Pro Sports update. Spring is in the air, which means the MLB season is officially underway, and for the Philadelphia Phillies, this year's opening day was one of disappointment. The Phils were up 5-0 to the Atlanta Braves when newly minted manager Gabe Kapler made the questionable decision to pull ace starter Aaron Nola after just 5 1/3 innings pitched and 68 pitches. The tide would begin to go the other way when relief pitcher Hobie Milner gave up a 2-run shot to Braves stud Freddie Freeman in the 6th. The bleeding wouldn't stop as the Phillies bullpen went on to give up 2 more long balls, including the walk-off 3-run homer off the bat of Nick Markakis, as Philadelphia went on to lose 8-5. What a blunder to start the season. Also on opening day, last year's National League MVP, Giancarlo Stanton, acquired by the New York Yankees in the offseason's biggest trade, had a debut for the ages with the Bronx Bombers. In his first at-bat as a Yankee, Stanton crushed a 2-run opposite field home run with an exit velocity of 117.3 miles per hour, the fastest in StatCast history. Stanton would go on to hit a double later and cap the day off with another dinger in the 9th. Stanton went 3 for 5 and drove in 4 runs in his Yankee debut and became the first Yankee to homer twice for New York on opening day since Joe Pepitone in 1963. On to NBA action. Earlier last week, Sixers superstar center Joel Embiid was injured in a collision with rookie Markelle Fultz in a game against the New York Knicks. Embiid went on to undergo surgery for an orbital fracture in his face and will be sidelined at least until the start of the playoffs. The injury left fans worried about the team's performance, but the Sixers have kept rolling, extending their winning streak to 10 games. In the absence of Embiid, Ben Simmons has stepped up his game by averaging a triple-double since Embiid went down, further solidifying himself as the Rookie of the Year. That's all from me for Pro Sports. I'm Taylor Christensen. Now over to Tyler Jefferson with Top Plays.
What's up, Rams? Tyler Jefferson here with this week's Top Plays. At number 5, Sixers first overall pick Markelle Fultz made his return after sitting out for a couple months and immediately got himself his first poster dunk of his career. We can only hope we will see more of this to come. At number 4, his teammate Joel Embiid delivered another monster dunk over Nuggets center Paul Millsap. Unfortunately, Joel Embiid went down with the injury, and we won't see him until the playoffs. But if he can keep this energy up, it's only good signs. At number 3, Daniel House Jr. of the Phoenix Suns showing some unbelievable acrobatic moves against the Golden State Warriors as he was able to throw the ball off the backboard in the game and catch it and dunk it. At number 2, UConn's undefeated season came to an end as Notre Dame's Enrique Ogunbowale, hope I said that right, delivered a dagger to send them home on as Notre Dame will head to the national championship. At number 1, what's better than a game winner to go to the national championship? A game winner to win a national championship. Notre Dame's Enrique Ogunbowale delivers another dagger against Mississippi State as Notre Dame wins their first national championship in many, many, many years. That concludes this week's top plays. James and Connor, back to you.
Amazing, dude. One of the craziest shots. I mean, it's up there with Leitner. It's up there with Jenkins, who we might get to see this coming Monday.
Possibly.
But hey, Ogunbowale, man, unbelievable. She did in the semis, and she did in the national championship.
It's unbelievable. It's crazy that the women's Final Four kind of overtook and delivered better games than the men's Final Four.
It did, and you know there's multiple reports that are saying just the women's game, the way it's run, you know, resetting the fouls, the quarters.
4 quarters.
It's slowly
advancing the ball to half court off of a timeout, which
exactly.
I love.
I love that. I think you have to do that. It would make for a lot more.
The fact that you have to go the length of the court after a timeout, I feel like ruins college basketball.
It does. But hey, it didn't ruin Michigan in their second round game against
That's
Houston.
a good point. That's a very good point.
But hey, that's all the time we have for this episode of RamCenter. But real fast, an amazing thing is happening at Westchester. James and I hosted the student-athlete lip sync battle a few Mondays ago, and all the proceeds benefited Make-A-Wish. SAC, the Student-Athlete Advisory Committee, raised enough money to host a wish reveal for a Make-A-Wish kid at our last baseball game of the year, May 6th, at home against Mansfield. The kid is going to meet some players of the Kansas City Royals. That's right, the MLB team, the Kansas City Royals. And SAC and all of RamCenter want the whole Westchester community there. It'd be an amazing experience for this kid, and especially with a big crowd behind him or her. So let's spread the word. Tell your family and friends. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at WCU RamCenter. We'll be posting a lot more about this amazing opportunity for a kid coming in the next few weeks. And don't forget to always smack that like button on our Facebook page, WCU RamCenter. As always, I'm Spencer McKercher.
And I'm Connor Sodak. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to